We had a lot of rain, a lot of wind from Hurricane Francine, who came through north central Alabama. So we've had, not very good weather for the last several days. But I think today is starting to turn around, getting some sunshine, and I am really excited about going to this, finally being able to get out. It's been a minute since I've done any traveling, so we're all packed up and we are heading to the Burchfield Branch Corps of Engineers campground.
Burchfield Branch Campground is a Corps of Engineers facility in north central Alabama, only about an hour and a half west of Birmingham and northeast of Tuscaloosa on the Black Warrior River. A lot of the travel is on what is called Lock 17 Road. That's a narrow county road with plenty of potholes, so it's slow going to get there. When I got to the gate, no one was there, and I didn't see the sign that said to check in at campsite number 1. So I wound up driving down there and then turning around at the automatic gate, then coming back to read the sign. But the camp host, Larry, was expecting me, so checking in was easy once I figured out where to go. I did reserve the site on the recreation.gov website, and using the senior pass, it cost $15 a night. Well, Oreo and I are parked. We've got everything set up. We're plugged in. We've got the AC on. This is Burchfield Branch Campground. This is a Corps of Engineers campground. I'm in site number 8, which is the very last site along the river. And then there is another section that's off the river. That's where the bathhouse is. And then Mr. Larry came down in his golf cart, just talked my ear off. He's a good old guy. Been here about 3 years doing camp host. The river is right here. It's going to be super easy to get in and out of with the kayak. Larry was telling me that the lock downstream they've got something is wrong with it and they're not able to use it. So this is shut off from commercial traffic. I don't know how long it's going to be before they open it back up, and then you'll see barges out here on the river. But until then, it's just quiet. They're just bass boats. And he says, first thing in the morning, you'll hear them ripping up and down the river. Yeah, it's a pretty sight. It's a little slanted coming in here, but the pad itself is fairly level. I'm going to unload the kayak and then I'm going to make some chicken chili. And there's no cell service here, but you do have water and power, and they have a dump station on the way out. Let me show you around the site. It's got some steps that go down from the pad, and then there's a little table there, kind of neat, next to the fire, the grill. And then there's a picnic table, and there's a fire ring right over there. And out there is the river. It's there's some logs floating here and some weeds. Over here on this side, I think this is probably a good spot to launch the kayak, so I'll probably do that, or else over there. The site next to me has some steps that go down to the water. It's pretty neat, pretty quiet. I didn't mention it while I was recording this, but there is, in the direction the camera is facing, Warrior Met Mine number 4, which has a low-level sound. It's not obtrusive, but I thought I would just mention that it is always there. Okay, ta-da! This is my new kayak, and I don't know if it's good to have it up on these sawhorses. You know, I think maybe it might help keep some bugs out of it. I don't know. I'm gonna put the cover on. This is a Delta 16 kayak, like a touring kayak. You know, I've always wanted a touring kayak. I've had a recreational kayak for, I don't know, 10 years or more. And I enjoy it. I enjoy using it, but it doesn't do very well when you want to go longer distances. It turns very easily, but the problem is that it turns very easily. I mean, when you're trying to go somewhere, you're constantly fighting the wind, the current. It wants to just turn in whatever direction it wants to. And that was an 11-foot rec kayak. So this is a 16-foot touring kayak. Sometimes they're called sea kayaks, but it can handle a lot rougher weather. It's narrower than the rec kayak, but it's got a nice keel on it, and it's also got a rudder. And that rudder will help when the wind is blowing to keep you, going in a straight line. So that'll be good. It's not windy, so I'm not worried about the wind blowing it over here. I'll be probably going out in the morning, and there's another creek further down on the left, but I'm not sure what the condition of it is or what it's like, but might go down there too. It's like a turtle party. They are just lined up down that log. If you can count how many turtles are here, be sure to put a comment below. Let me know. What do you think, Oreo? What do you think about it? Do you like it out here? You're not sure, huh? Not a lot to do out here for you. But it's nice to be able to be off leash, since there is really no one here. There are a couple of campers on this road, and I saw some more that were on the other side where the bathhouse is and all that. But I brought some firewood with me. There was a little bit here left from the last person, but I'm probably not going to make a fire tonight. I think I will cook in the Oliver and get out early in the morning, maybe go kayaking, come back. Tomorrow night I'll make a fire for sure. Well, I didn't really have lunch, and it's 5:30 almost, and I'm gonna getting kind of hungry, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on this chili, white chicken chili. So first thing, I need to get some kernels off this corn, chop up this onion. Now I'm going to go outside and check this corn. Next I need to cut up some jalapenos. A little olive oil, and then we'll put our onions and peppers in there. I don't remember the recipe exactly. I forgot to write it down. I got it online, but I've got no cell service here to be able to look it up, so I'm just playing it by ear. It's fairly simple. I'm supposed to put 2 cans of these cannellini white kidney beans and also 2 cans of these mild green chilies in there, but I think I'm only going to go 1 and 1. And I'm going to cut it in half. I don't have a can opener, except I've got an old school can opener. I don't know if anybody has ever tried to open a can with one of these, but it can be done. You just have to kind of hook it on the edge and work your way around. It's not easy, but you know, it can be done. I'm glad I actually had a can opener on this multi-tool. You know, I've always got to forget something when I come to camp, and then I need one of these. I got a can of mild and a can of hot, and I was going to put them both in there. I think I'm just going to do the mild. So the funny thing that I learned the other day was that when they invented canning food, they didn't invent the can opener for several years after that. Strange. Bring a can opener. I have some things that I just have dedicated copies of here in the camper that I never take out. I'm going to add some water. The chicken is already cooked. The recipe calls for a like a rotisserie chicken. So I got a rotisserie chicken at the grocery store yesterday, and I took all the meat off the bones, and it's in the fridge. So the corn and the chicken only take about 3 minutes. After this has sort of simmered, this is probably going to cook for, I don't know, 20 minutes. And I'm going to put a little bit of oregano, and I'm going to put a little ground cumin, a tiny bit of cayenne pepper, probably asking for it. It's starting to come to a boil. Once that comes to a boil, I'll turn it down to a simmer, and it'll reduce down. I'm going to leave the lid off of it. Well, this is starting to thicken up. I mashed a few of the beans. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put in my chicken and my corn. So this is the rotisserie chicken that I took off the bone. So I'm going to put about half of that in there. The corn, I cut the kernels off the corn. Well, it looks like the chicken has come apart. It's smelling good, I'll tell you that, and I'm going to go ahead, I think this is going to really be good. I'm going to go ahead and plate up some of it. I'll probably save half of it for tomorrow. So I put some lime juice on there just to kind of kick it up a little bit, give it a little bit of tartness. And I'm having some of these tortilla chips with it. That is really good. Could use a little more salt. But I tell you, you just imagine what it would taste like if I had the recipe. Well, this is really good. Very, very tasty. The canned chili peppers adding a good flavor. The jalapenos adding a little kick. Plus that rotisserie chicken and the fresh corn. It's really good. Highly recommended. Well, I almost forgot to mention the beer of the day. This is from Huntsville, Alabama. It's called Straight to Ale. Brother Joseph's Belgian style double ale. Southern born, southern brewed. So we'll give that a taste. Oh yeah, that's very good. I wonder if since it's a double, I wonder if that means it's double alcohol. Well, I'll find out when I get to the bottom of that, when I get to the bottom of that can. When I woke up this morning, there was a fog on the river. I let Oreo out, and there was what I think was a river otter swimming around in these grasses that are right here by the bank. I got my camera and I tried to get a picture, but I think he knew that I had a camera, so he stayed out of sight. Well, I turned off the air conditioner, and it was about 72 degrees when I went to bed. I did go to bed a little early. I was kind of tired from all the moving and everything yesterday, and that combined with my being unconnected. I read my book for a while and got sleepy really fast, so yeah, I just went ahead and went to sleep about 8:30. And then I slept this morning until 7, so apparently I needed some rest. I don't know if you can see that, but caught quite a few mosquitoes last night with my little bug zapper. This has been working out pretty well for me. There's the little fishing dock down at the end of the campground. And there is the Oliver my campsite, number 8. So I'm going to head across the river here and see if I can find that creek. Yeah, it looks like this is the creek. I'll go up in there a ways and see if there's a channel through. And this is the boat launch on the other side. Yeah, there's some really big cliffs on this side over here. Big rocks. Looks like it's a pretty narrow creek. Got some high banks on it. It's nice back in here. Super quiet. Oh, there's a big blue heron. He's mad. He's mad at me. I saw an egret earlier. It's like a great spot for birds. A lot of lily pads. Places for frogs to hide. Yeah, it's beautiful back here. I hope the channel stays open so I can get back in there a ways. It's a kingfisher. Oh. So we've got a houseboat back here. I wonder if anyone's in there. Yeah. Wow. These big rock formations are cool. So this is the new kayak. This is a, like I said, I think before, this is a Delta 16. And, you know, this thing is everything that I was hoping for in a kayak. I mean, this thing just tracks so straight. You know, before, when I was in the wreck kayak, if I stopped paddling and took out, so I've stopped now and I've put my paddle down, you can see how straight I'm tracking. If I had waited this long on that wreck kayak, I would have done a 180 degrees turn to, and that's not really enough time to take out my camera and take a picture. I really like the freedom that the kayak gives you. You know, you don't have to worry about grounding out your prop on a rock or something like that. Worst thing that's going to happen is you might get a scratch. Of course, you might also turn the thing over and sink it. That's pretty far-fetched. It's fairly deep here. I can hear water. I don't know what that could be. Huh. It's like a little waterfall here. Well, this looks like it might be the end of the line. So I don't really want to drag my boat past this. Maybe I could get out here and scout a little bit, see what's further upstream. But I'm not going to be taking it. I'm not going to be portaging upstream, so I'll just turn around here. Well, as you probably saw, that's going to probably be the end of this creek. Even if I drug the kayak over these rocks, it's very quickly you'd be into another group of another waterfall. So I guess I haven't really decided what to do. Maybe I'll go back to the camper and have some lunch and go back out later this afternoon. It's still really nice, very cool. It's not too hot, so it might get hotter this afternoon. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's still a lot of fun to be out here for sure. In all my preparations this morning to come out in the boat, I forgot to bring snacks. Well, it wouldn't be me if I didn't forget something, so there you go. I found this little Nalgene water bottle, wide mouth. It's not my color scheme in particular, the pink and teal, but I got this off the clearance table at Academy Sports for $3.24. Hard to beat $3.24 for a Nalgene. Now that boat has in pretty bad shape. As far as the awning is all in tatters, and I don't know. As far as I know, there's somebody in there sleeping. There's a big blue heron. Boy, I tell you, this is really a beautiful day. Sunny, it's a little hazy, but temperature-wise, it is just fantastic. I guess it's in the mid-70s, maybe high 70s. And, you know, it's a Tuesday. I am still often amazed that I'm retired, that I can just go places whenever I want. Looks like there's a fishing boat on the way. Yeah. He's in a hurry. He's in a hurry to go catch some fish. That's the side that the campground is on. Can't see the Oliver from here, but you might be able to spot the beach up there, day use area. Oh, look, there's an otter. I don't know if it got on camera. He was swimming right next to me. Oh, there he is. Oh, he went under. Let's see if I can see him. There's a few of them. There's another one over there by at the bank. That's cool. Let's see if I can find my spot that I launched from. It's around in between these two beds of plants. I can get out without falling in. And here is the map of my activity on Strava. After the morning paddling, I decided to just hang around camp and relax. Oreo and I took a walk through the campground where we saw the other loop and met the other camp hosts. They were a friendly bunch of folks, and it was nice to chat with them. The other loop is in a canyon with high rock walls and a small stream running through it, which was the campground's namesake, Burchfield Branch. Okay, well, the steak was a failure. I was not able to get it hot enough out there to sear the steak, but I figure I would at least show you what it looks like on the inside. It's not as raw as expected. It's overdone because I left it on the fire too long trying to get it seared. And you know, I'll have my grill or something next time that will give me a better sear. I get more heat. But it is very tasty. Potatoes stole the show. And I am going back to the straight to AO Brother Joseph's Belgian style double. And I discovered, yes, it is double. It's 8% alcohol. Next morning is time to go a little further downstream to Davis Creek, and I hope I don't fall in. It's 10 after 9. Getting started here. A little bit of a late start. I had my oatmeal. And this time I remembered to pack a snack. This place I'm going is a little farther down the river. Davis Creek. Start my activity here. If you don't start your activity, it doesn't count. One of the things I love about kayaking is how quiet you can be. Birds, animals don't hear you coming until you get pretty close to them and kind of sneak up on them. See things you might otherwise not see. Well, we've been going a mile now. It's been pretty easy paddling. It's so flat and calm. You can see some buildings downstream there on the right. I don't think that has anything to do with the dam. I do see across the way over there is looks like a loading, some sort of loading, I don't know what you call them, but made for loading coal onto barges, I imagine. A lot of coal mining in this area. Larry, the camp host, was telling me this morning that he was a coal miner for 45 years. So averaging, it looks like about 3 miles per hour. It's a pretty decent clip. I'll peak out at 4.5 or so if I get to energetically paddling, making good time. I expected to be at Davis Creek already. I should be coming up on it here pretty soon. It's nice over here on this side of the river in the shade. Looks like I'm about 3/4 of the way there. So, shouldn't be too far. I don't know how far down Davis Creek I'm going to go. Kind of just depends on my energy level. But I'm taking it slow. I'm not trying to set any records or anything. All right, well, I've gone now, according to my trip, 2 miles, but I am here. I think I am right at the entrance to Davis Creek. It's not very deep here, and it's probably, well, it's more than a paddle length. Got a little day hatch here. It's kind of neat. I've got some snacks. Got a banana. I've got some water. So I think I'm gonna have this banana. And this GoPro mount vacuum is a vacuum suction thing. And I have it lashed off as well with paracord. In case it comes off, I don't want to lose my GoPro. The sun is starting to beat down a little bit. I didn't expect it to be quite as far from the campground. I don't want to go too far down it. Get myself in a energy deficit. Got a little chocolate bar here. Oh, it's gooey. So many birds. Aside from the bald eagle I saw yesterday. Some black vultures, big blue heron, egrets, kingfisher, crow. Well, I managed to fly the drone without losing it. That's a successful flight. Well, I have turned around after I flew the drone and I'm headed back downstream on Davis Creek. And once I get back out to the Black Warrior River, then I'll be going upstream. But I'm not gonna really try to, let's see, 3.74 miles is what I've gone so far. So I'm not gonna try and stress myself and go super fast. You know, that's really the beauty of this kayak, I think, is that it does track so straight and very fast. So I can paddle a couple strokes and rest, and it just keeps right on cruising. So pretty nice. I'm really happy with the kayak. I think it was a good purchase. I struggled with it for quite a while. You know, it's expensive, and kept thinking, should I spend that money? But you know, after thinking about it for a while, I started thinking, well, you know, if I don't buy it now, then when will I buy it? You know, will it be when I'm 70 or 75? Or, you know, it's now or never. And I don't know how long my health is going to be the way it is. You know, thankfully good. But, you know, I don't want to regret not having done what some of my goals are, because I was afraid of spending the money, that sort of thing. As far as retirement goes, you know, I've heard that the spending graph is what they call a smile graph. So meaning that it is generally high at the beginning of retirement, and that's when you're spending a lot of money for doing things and, you know, doing your bucket list stuff. And then it tapers down when you get into the slow go years and you're a little bit more sedentary. You don't want to go out and do a lot of activity. And then it goes back up again, of course, when you get old and healthcare costs start to be a big part of your spending. I'm going to go ahead and head back. But I'm thinking about going over to the other side of the river and paddling by those, I don't know if they're cabins or what they are exactly. Turtle and log. Hop out for just a second. I guess now we'll slog over to the other side, and I'll go down this way for a little ways and check out this other house. On the Corps of Engineers permit posted on their dock there. I guess you have to get permission in these lakes to build a dock. There's something appealing about having a little place like that out on the river. I guess it's the same appeal that you would have from camping. You know, you get away from everybody, out in the nature. Of course, the advantage of the camper is you can go somewhere else. I think around the corner here is that equipment. Yeah. I guess you would go up underneath there. I'm not sure. There's not a whole lot of space here for a barge or something like that. Don't see any property of signs that might give a clue about what it is. Got cranes for lifting up these. Well, I made it back to the camper. It was my longest kayak venture to date, 7.5 miles. You know, I'm working up to it. But yeah, my battery died in the GoPro, so I didn't have it running there at the end, which is a shame because it was some good content I missed. When I got back to the bank and started to climb out of the kayak, I rolled it over and fell in. So that would have been that would have been good to have gotten on film, but oh well. But I'm heating up some of the white chicken chili that I made yesterday, and looking forward to eating that. And then I don't know, might kick back, take a nap or something. I don't know. We'll see. Well, this is my last night at the campground, so I just kicked back and took it easy. I had a little nap, read my book, and just watched the sun set on the Black Warrior. I'm sitting out here this morning, enjoying my coffee, getting started on my day. This is going to be travel day. I'm heading back home. I have to say that this campground, Burchfield Branch Corps of Engineers campground, it's a 5 out of 5 for me. Really quiet, peaceful, you know, nothing to complain about at all. Really, everything about this place is fantastic. The only downside is if you just can't live without connectivity. You know, there's no cell service or anything like that. When I was in my kayak and I went downriver, there was a spot I've paddled to that I got a little bit of 5G. That's with AT&T. But yeah, definitely recommend it if you are in this area. It's a beautiful spot. The river in this area is in some fairly deep gorges, so you see a lot of big rock formations along the along the banks of the river. Birds everywhere. Great spot if you want to come check out, you know, if you want to do some birding out here. Saw some river otters the other day. Haven't seen them since that day. I did see a bald eagle the other day when I had gone out in the late afternoon, and I was watching it fly over the river, and it got about in the middle and folded up its wings and dived down and snatched a fish out of the river. That was kind of cool. See that. And it's really like all of the Corps of Engineer campgrounds that I've seen in Alabama, is they're all just really good, clean, well maintained, well run. So 2 thumbs up. Well, I thought I'd include a little bit here. I'm giving the kayak a little bath, getting some of that river grime off of the hull. And then I thought I would show you how I load the kayak up on top of the truck. I've got that roller that attaches to suction cup to the back glass of the truck, and that protects the cab of the truck from getting hit by the kayak itself. Then it's just a matter of grabbing one end of it, bringing it up on the tailgate, grabbing one end of it and putting it up on there. And then the holder itself has rollers, so I can just roll it forward, and once it's up there, strap it down. Well, thanks for staying with me if you made it this far. As a bonus, I'll share a very close call I had with the drone. North of the campground is the John Hollis Bankhead Lock and Dam. Now I flew up to get a shot of the spillway, and then I started back to land. And I didn't see these power lines until I had already passed them. That would have probably been the end of the drone if I had hit one of those lines. But come back again for my next adventure, and thanks for watching.